You've clicked on this video because you want to learn how to find winning products. Well, this will be the last video that you will ever need to watch on the subject, because I've somewhat figured out a criteria or framework as such that's allowed me to consistently find 6- and 7-figure winning products over the years consistently. And the last 2 winning products that I have running and still have running have been running over a year now, and I've done over $1 million in sales. So what I'm going to teach you is that exact framework and criteria so that you can apply it to your own product research methods so that you don't spam test and waste a ton of money. So with that out of the way, I'm going to split this video into 2 parts. The first part, I'm going to draw on the whiteboard and explain the actual framework and criteria so you understand it from a theory point of view. And then second part of this video, we're going to jump inside of the computer and actively practice and apply the framework, so again you get an understanding of the practical side of things so that you again stop wasting money and actually find these products that can make you a ton of money. So if you don't have the attention span of a goldfish and actually make it to the end of this video, I can guarantee that you'll get a ton of value. With that out of the way, let's jump into the whiteboard. Right, so let's get directly to the source and explain this framework. So first and foremost, okay, I'm gonna have somewhat of a checklist. Okay, and this checklist is made up of 5 key things. Okay, and it's important, almost imperative, that the product that you are testing out ticks all of these 5 things. If it fails at any point, you will not test the product and go on to find something else. The biggest issue that a lot of people see, especially when it comes to newbie dropshippers, what they do is they just test something randomly because they see that it has good engagement, or someone else is selling it, that means that you must sell it. Or for whatever reason, they'll just throw something at the wall, hope and pray that that product actually works. That's the surefire way to go broke. And then those type of people throw around the whole dropshipping is dead, dropshipping's a scam kind of thing. No, it's because you didn't apply this framework, right? So what are these 5 key things? The first thing is that the product is already selling. Product is already selling. When you are starting out, okay, it is much easier for you to sell into an existing demand than it is to try and create and fabricate a demand that you don't know if there is any buying intent there. It's much harder for a beginner and for you, for anyone to that point, to try and sell into something which you know isn't proven. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Now you could argue if you do find that needle in the haystack, then the upward potential is much larger, yes, but we're talking about going from 0 to 1 here. And this is where you can always get results if you sell something which is already selling. A lot of people shy away from this, or especially newbies, because they fear the whole competition factor. Competition is a good thing. Competition is your validity point to say, if someone else is already selling this product, then you must be able to sell this product as well. Now, it's not as straightforward as that, because of course you still need to apply a angle as such, or have some sort of, you know, like a specific selling point. Maybe you sell to a new market, or maybe you sell to a different audience as such, but already selling is something that you need to have in the product. It needs to be already selling. And there's going to be ways where I show you inside of the computer how to validate whether or not a product is even selling. And you can do this 3 ways, and I'm going to show you that inside of the computer when we hop and actually apply this theory. And obviously you can use spy tools out there, which maybe I'll show you in the video at the end of the video as well. So you want to make sure that a product is already selling. A lot of people also shy away from this because of saturation. You know, they see a product which is already selling, they see a few people who are already selling a product, and they're like, oh no, maybe it's saturated. I am a firm believer that I don't believe in saturation as such. Reason being is because you can, like I've mentioned, apply a new angle, or even take an existing product which is already selling in one country, translate it, and then sell it in another country, and it's no longer as saturated in that country as it was in a previous country where you had initially found the product. So saturation is a little bit of a myth, if you want to put it as that way. So already selling. The next point is every product 9 times out of 10 will either, you want to make sure that it solves problem just going to put solves prob, or I'm just going to put wow because I'm running out of space, wow/unique. Okay. A winning product generally falls into one of these two categories. It either solves someone's problem, for example, it saves them time, it saves them money, it makes them look better, maybe it gives them longer eyelashes, improves confidence, those sorts of things of solving someone's problems or insecurities, or it has like some sort of wow or unique factor that you most of the time won't be able to find that product on the high street in your local Tesco, Walmart, or whatever it may be. Now, in the ideal world, I generally, if I look back and reflect at some of my biggest winners that I had over the years, the product done both of these things. So it solved the problem and had some sort of wow or unique factor about it, because it just kind of like compounds the whole thing together. If it solves a problem and no one has ever kind of seen the product before. And when you're able to find a product that fits into both of these, that's when you generally find something which can take off and have substantial results. Now, you can have a product that literally just solves a problem and isn't exactly wow, and it isn't, unique as such. And then on the flip side, you can also have products which are just wow and unique. 9 times out of 10, if you go on your TikTok newsfeed, you will find products that just fit into this category. Like they're just wow, unique. They rarely solve anyone's problem, but they just are so cool, like kids' toys and stuff like that, that they would just sell based on that factor. Now, if you ask me what I personally like to sell, I generally like to go for a product which solves a problem because it's easier to sell. Like it's easier to tell a story and easier to also like demonstrate the problem, the pains, the issues, the people that people are experiencing, and then sell them on the solution of whatever your product basically solves. So that's why I like to stick with these. But if I look back at the biggest ones that I've ever had, 9 times out of 10, it fits into both of these criteria. So that's the second thing. Now, the third thing is pretty simple, is can you source it? Okay, can you source it? Now, there's been many of times whereby I have done product research and I come across a product, but for whatever reason, I just can't find it. My supplier can't find it, or I can't find it on AliExpress doing a search from the first 5 pages. It's just not there. And that may be because the product itself is something like it's a Kickstarter product, it's an actual invention, it's patented or whatever it may be, and you just simply can't source it. And if that is the case, if you're spending time trying to source a product and you simply just cannot find it in some capacity, then there's millions of products out there. Just go and find something else. So that's a very straightforward and simple one to follow and apply. The fourth one is probably one of the most important ones, and a lot of newbies, especially newbie dropshippers, get this wrong with their product research. And I'll explain why. So the fourth one is, I'm just going to put enough margin. Okay, you could basically just put it as margin, but enough margin. Enough margin. Is there enough profit margin in the product in order for you to sell a product? Now, when I talk about margin, like for me personally, because the business model that I use is utilizing of Facebook ads, so I actually pay for traffic and I sell the product to get traffic that way. I'm not doing organic. I'm not doing, things whereby I'm posting tons of like TikTok videos, and that way you don't have to have so much margin in a product because you're not factoring in the cost of your advertising costs, okay? So there's benchmarks that I like to set for a product to have enough margin in it for me to be able to sell the product, and what I recommend you to do as well. And it's funny because I'll explain what those are, but it's funny because you can simply win purely on unit economics at times. What I mean by that is if you are able to source a product so cheap and mark it up, say 4, 5x, 6x sometimes, you can simply win on just having fantastic cost of goods and fantastic unit economics. If you can have a gross margin of like 80%, like those sorts of numbers above, you can afford to have bad days with your adverts and still make like 15% profit on bad days, right? I've got a current product that I'm selling at the moment in time where the break-even ROAS is around about 1.25, I think it is, or something. So even on the bad days when we do like 1.6x or 1.7x ROAS with our ads, which would be considered as a bad day as such, like we still make like 10 or 15% profit, right? Even on bad days. Whereas if that wasn't applicable, the product, like I would probably either be break even or losing money on that day, okay? So what are some sort of benchmarks that you should be aiming for? Well, the universal saying is making sure that you can 3 to 4x the cost of goods. That's generally a sound rule of thumb to go by, making sure you can 3 to 4x the cost of goods. Meaning if you are buying the product and it costs you to purchase and ship the product for $10, you want to make sure that you can sell it for at least 30 to 40. Now, if you're selling in the English speaking market countries, okay, I would not sell a product for less than $30, to be honest, because it's just like the expense, like the cost for CPMs and all those kind of things are a little bit more expensive. So you want to make sure you can 3 to 4x the cost of goods. Another good rule, another reason for applying that rule is if you can like 4x the cost of goods, what happens is if you test out a price point at 4x and you are able to then drop the product price by 4 and it doesn't, you're still within like the 3x, what happens is you can increase your conversion rate or turn a product from a break-even product to a winning product just by simply deducting the price by $5. So I want to make sure that there's enough margin inside of products. Again, that's typically a rule of thumb. I like to aim for a break-even ROAS no higher than like a 1.7, you know. And the final one here, before we actually jump into the computer and apply this practically to try and find an opportunity, is existing content. Existing content. And excuse my handwriting, but existing content. And what I essentially mean by that is, again, I personally use Facebook ads, meaning obviously we need content for our adverts to run. Now, there's this whole, notion of, do you use your own content or are you borrowing content online? If you are doing dropshipping in the purest sense, then in order for you to be nimble and effective and efficient to test out products, you need to borrow existing content online for your adverts. It makes zero sense at all to try and, get the product in from Amazon or get it in from your supplier, shoot a bunch of, stuff for yourself just to find out that the product doesn't work and no one wanted it. Massive waste of time. So what do? What you do is you find existing content online, okay, to utilize for your ads. And there's places that I'll show you inside of the computer whereby obviously you can borrow the content and then ultimately clip some stuff together and turn it into an ad that you can test, where you can test different hooks and angles and all that kind of stuff, where you can build out scripts. Now, this part here obviously isn't the be all end all. You don't rely on this, because if you want to get to like 10K plus days, then you will ultimately need to have a content system in place whereby you are either creating content uniquely yourself once you validated that the product actually works and it's worth spending time creating your own content, or getting a family member or someone to shoot content for you, or sending it out to influencers or UGC creators, etc., to create content. But it's only worth doing that once it's validated. So this is the 5-step criteria. And as I've mentioned, if a product fails at any one of these stages, it's always good to just find another product. There is millions of products out there that you can test, okay? And if it fails at any of these points, it's worth just finding another product. Now that you understand this criteria, I can pretty much guarantee that if you literally just take this part and apply this to your product research, you will stop spam testing and wasting a bunch of money. So with that out of the way, let's jump inside of the computer and apply this criteria practically so you can understand it and see it in real time. So now that I've discussed the actual validation framework on the whiteboard, let's jump into the computer and practically apply it to the business and give you a somewhat of a live example. So here are the 5 steps. Right? Now, the first thing you need to do is you actually have to find a product. Now, when it comes to finding products, most of the time I just use a free method, and that's just utilizing Facebook ads library, which is this here. Why? Because first and foremost, it's free. And second of all, it allows you to find every single ad that is currently running on the platform. So you kind of have your finger on the pulse up to date, whereas spy tools usually like take 2 to 3 weeks or so for it to kind of like be indexed by the spider crawlers that crawl all of the Facebook adverts, if that makes sense. So Facebook ads library is more than enough to find winning dropshipping products. So in order to utilize this, first and foremost, you just want to click on an English speaking country. Now I'm just going to have it as United States. Reason being, and click on all ads. Reason being is because you want the largest markets. You can take these products and apply them to EU countries or whatever it may be, but you want to kind of do your product research in the largest markets to start off with. Now, in terms of the keywords, you want to first and foremost use keywords which other dropshippers will be using in their adverts. Things like sale ends soon, get yours here, free shipping, % off, order here, buy now, etc., etc. But you can actually take that a step further if you wanted to and apply keywords which are specific to a type of product that you want to sell. For example, if you wanted to find health-related products, you could type in like neck pain or back pain or, you know, shoulder pain, or even just like the word like dog or cat, just to try and find products which, again, are related to that one specific keyword. For the sake of this example, I'm just going to put in sale ends soon. Now, once we've done that, it will automatically filter on active ads. I think this is a new thing. It never used to. It used to just throw up a ton of inactive and active ads, but we still want to filter this down further. We have 3,800 results currently, and we want to filter this down a little further. So this is what I like to do, and this is what you could call the source, should I say. If you click on media, you want to make sure that there's videos. And then also when it comes to impressions by date, you want to make sure that you set this to around about a week to 10 days prior to the current date that you're currently on. So I'm currently on 14th of August. I would go back for this example to 7th, or I could do the 4th. Reason being is because it shows them in order. So if we go back already 7 days, it's going to show us ads that have been running since the 7th of August, which is a good thing, because if something has been running for 7 days, then we kind of know that the advertiser is making some sort of money, because why on earth would they make it run for 7 days without, you know, making any money? Doesn't make any sense. So then we just want to click apply filters. So now what's going to happen is we've got much less results here, 1,400, and now we can search. And what we're looking for here is like a drop shipping products. Now I'm not going to go through and click all of these videos, because like I kind of have like an intuition and a drop shipping's sixth sense, should I say, because I've been doing it so long. And you get good at this when you, again, are in the trenches doing product research every single day. You kind of get an eye for which is a brand, which is an actual brand that you can't source, which is kind of like a Chinese drop shipping store, and which is more like a mini drop shipping store that you can hop on. So again, some of this stuff isn't even filtered out, so it hasn't even filtered out the images, which is kind of stupid, but there we go. So for example, these chains are not something that you want to obviously try and drop ship. If we keep looking, we've got this potential kids toy here. So if we click on summary details here and show you one of these ads, right? So you can see obviously it's a kids building fort, which again doesn't necessarily solve much of a problem as such. Maybe you could say that it helps with kids' creativity and all those kind of things. So this could be potentially something that we could take a little bit further and have a look. Is it actually selling? This is a pretty decent product, especially coming up into Q4 as well. So that would be something that I would obviously move on to the next step. Let's continue to keep on looking. Let's see if we can find something else. So what you also want to find is if like this, you can see here that they've got this ad, this ad, this ad, this ad, all in the ads library. And again, here, one here, and again, one here, one here, one here. This for me is another great sign, because this tells me that these guys are running a bunch of different ads. They've been running for a week now, which I want to investigate further what the product is, what it does, and can I move it on to the next step. So we want to go to their actual page with all of their ads being displayed. And to do that, you can literally just hover over here and click view ads, right? And then it's shown up all of these. They've got 38 results, which off the bat, first and foremost, you want to make sure that you're going active. They only have 10 active. So for me, I want to see at least 50 in order for me to kind of like validate that is this product already selling. Now, if we go back down to here, right, and we just do a ton of scrolling down here, okay, I think that was another product that was selling something similar. I think it was like the same product, but they had much more ads up and running. And same products, I believe it was. So if we keep scrolling down, here we go. Again, look, we can see here again, 1 ad, 2 ad, 3 ad, 4 ad, 5 ad. Okay, these guys here. So we'd open up this page, right, and see how they see how many ads they're running and if these guys are doing better than the other guys. So with these guys, you can see that they have 62 active ads, which is a great sign, first and foremost. The next thing you want to do to validate the free way if these guys are actually making money with this product is scroll all the way down and see how long they've been running for. So these guys have been running since May, and we're currently in August right now. So they've been running for a few months, which tells me they're making some money, because they wouldn't be running these ads for that long if they didn't actually have any money. And just to show you what this product actually does, because you might be curious what it actually does, but if we just click on see ad, this one here, just so you can see, it's basically a product which turns any empty bottle that you've been drinking from into a home decor, pretty looking lamp, kind of like a talking point. So does this product actually solve a problem? Not really, but does it have a wow and unique effect? Yes, it does. So it does fall into that category. You could argue that this product solves a problem by helping people save the world and not recycle, being able to recycle the bottle and, you know, relive the memories that they had while getting faced. You know, so you could argue that point, but for me personally, this is just a product which has a wow effect. So what we then do is click on the actual product and see if we can, first and foremost, how much they're selling it for and can we source it. So this is a wireless bottle lamp. So let's go into AliExpress and literally just type in wireless bottle lamp. And they're selling this product for $50. It's quite expensive, but $50 anyway. If we click on here and just sort by orders here, we can get this product for around about $9. This is the same product here, $12 here. So yeah, we can get this product for around about $9, which is a 4x. Okay, so we can multiply this up 4x, get it for a $9, sell it for $40 or $50. So a 4-5x, which first and foremost answers the next part of the validation criteria. So is it already selling? Yes, we've kind of already validated that. The free method, because first and foremost, they've got 78 active ads, and also they have been running for a couple of months now. If you wanted to take this part a step further, we could use a tool like Shop Hunter. Now, this isn't the actual brand, but this is just a demo brand that obviously I'm currently tracking. But what Shop Hunter does, it's a paid spy tool. It shows you on average how much the website is making on a daily basis. So we validated that. Yes, it's already selling. Does it solve a problem? It kind of solves a problem, but it also has the wow and unique effect of it. So you could argue that it has that. Can it be sourced? I've literally just showed you that we can find the product on AliExpress. Okay. Now, does it have enough margin? Well, these guys are selling this product for $50 and we can get it for $9, right? I'm not sure if there's any additional shipping here, potentially a pound or dollar or so. So we can still, again, 3-4x the product. Now, the final thing is ultimately, is there existing content with this product? Well, let's have a look. So in order to do that, there's a few things. First and foremost, we have the content here, which is obviously what these guys were using. So this brand here, and then we have the other brand, which is selling here. And then what you want to do is you want to go onto TikTok. And if I just type in wireless bottle lamp, this is the best place to find content. But you can see here, this is the exact same product. We've got content here, we've got content here, content here, content here. What else? We've got this here. This is the viral product. Look, you can see here, it's got 322,000 views on this product. So again, something which is viral that we could potentially utilize in some of our ads. This was the ad that they literally were selling. So maybe they took this exact ad and have just swiped it and been running it and making bank from this product. So you can see here that out of all of these, and obviously if we went into all of these usernames, they may have more videos on this product. And we could also go into places like YouTube and find stuff, see if there's any YouTube shorts of people demonstrating this exact same product. So out of all of these, you can really quickly see that this product would be something that has the potential to then go and test, right? If it failed at any kind of point, it would be a case of trying to find something else. And this is basically just one search that I've done. You can go ahead and change this search term to anything you want. You can go ahead and change this country to anything you want. And then when you continue to do this by applying these exact same filters and you repeat this process over a time period and different combinations and word combos, the possibilities are endless. And then once you actually find something uses this method and then apply that criteria that I mentioned, what happens is you end up testing less products, but the quality of products that you test are much higher, and the potential of those products to go on and have 6 and 7 figures is much higher than you just spam testing something which just looks good or you see someone else that is selling. So hopefully you got some value from this video. If you did, shoot me a like on the video. Make sure, of course, you subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I will be dropping more videos coming very, very soon. And let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this entire process, or any questions that you do have, or any aspects of the business that you want me to go ahead and dive a little bit more deeper into. And yeah, take this information, use it, and make a fuck ton of money. So peace out, and I'll talk to you again.